Hey everybody, ever wonder just what's in the Tower of London? Let's find out on today's episode of Adventuring Spiders. Alright, we're just standing on the edge of Tower of London, and you can see the battleship right in front of me, as well as the spire. It's the tallest building in London. And then over this way, Tower Bridge. Pretty cool. And right behind me, the Tower of London. Alright, we just walked inside the Tower of London. Very busy in here, but pretty impressive. Stuff on the battlements here, and you can see the poppy display they have on for Remembrance Day. Closer look at the inner courtyard here, and right next to it the Remembrance Day display. There's the display of poppies. In front of the White Tower here, which is something else built by William the Conqueror in 1066. We're gonna go inside. Standing inside the White Tower in a place they're called the Armory. Very, very cool. So they have on display here some of the armor from Henry VIII, which is pretty cool. And it's framed in the background by all these breastplates, which is pretty amazing. And another section of the armory here. We've got more plate armor from various kings. We've also got some weapons, some pikes, halberds. It's entering one of the toilets here in the White Tower, one of the original toilets. There's a lot of very cool armored pieces in here, but perhaps none as unique as the axe pistol. An art installation here. A dragon made entirely out of weapons and armor. Now in the storehouse in the basement of the White Tower. We've got a lot of the weapons stored down here. Wow. Unreal. Alright, we just finished here in the White Tower. Now we're gonna head over to this, which is where you go view the crown jewels. Now we have to stand in line. So we'll get to it. Alright. We're now up on the battlements, and you can see the inner courtyard here. That's the White Tower in front of me, and this building right here is where the crown jewels are held. You are not allowed to film or take pictures in there, so I don't have any footage from inside, but I can tell you that it's really spectacular, and although they've never been appraised, the approximate value of them is about $6 billion. One of the resident ravens. They're apparently everywhere around here. They warn you about them. They say they bite, but they are all over the place. Standing on the parapets here of Tower of London, the City of London in the distance. About the only really modern part of London that you'll see. in terms of buildings. Of course, surrounded by history. There's another shot of the inner courtyard here of the Tower of London. Some of the houses inside, and these are lived in actually by people who are the royal guards, who are dressed like this guy. They live here year round and take care of the place. And another installation of poppies, this one extending all the way up to the roof. Neat little display here. This is the top of the portcullis and the winch ropes to lower it and raise it. Very big. Very big indeed. Little display here in one of the towers related to torture, including a rack on display. Alright, we just finished our tour of the Tower of London, just behind me. And when you come out of the exit, which is just right in front of me here, you walk out to view the Tower Bridge. Very impressive. And of course, lots of boats going along. And our next thing that we're going to do is hop on one of those cruises and take a cruise on the Thames.
It is unique because it's part bascule and part suspension. The bascule part is the name of the middle, which they can open. They can raise it in 60 seconds to allow very tall ships in and out of this part of the Thames. We're about to go underneath the Charing Cross Railway Bridge. Wave and smile at anyone on this bridge. If you get a wave back, said to bring your luck. Okay, the captain's making some noise for us. Wave at the nice people on the bridge. There we go. Very important you get them to wave. It stops them throwing things at the boat. Okay, keep waving, keep smiling. There you go. Hopefully keeps their hands a little bit occupied. There you go. And of course, as we come through the bridge there, over to the left, the London Eye. It wasn't meant to be a permanent structure. It was only meant to be here for a couple of years. However, one summer's day, it made over £250,000 in one day.
All right, we made our way to the London Museum of Natural History, and we are going to go inside and look at some of the exhibits. We can only be here about an hour and a half because that's when it closes, but it'll at least give us an opportunity to look at some of the exhibits. All right, everybody, here we are inside the British Museum of Natural History. Really, really cool displays here. Bones of different animals. And above me, we got the skeleton of a whale, but they've also got that beside other animals. Dinosaur, mammoth, and then on the other side, a giraffe. So some modern animals, some extinct animals. Very, very cool. I'm sure this place has got tons to see. Alright, I'm now at the other end of the building here. Got the whale. And here we've got the statue of Darwin. The exhibit halls here at the museum are just massive. You could spend an entire day looking around here and not see everything. And the building itself, the hall, is just gorgeous. It's just an amazing place for science. I'm a little bit geeking out right now. This is a very impressive display of the cross-section of a giant sequoia that was cut down in 1891 at an estimated age of 1,335 years old. This tree sprouted in the year 557, which is crazy. Doesn't cease to amaze. Birds on display here, various kinds, some flying, And then look at these various gulls and an albatross. This is really cool. This is the original Archaeopteryx, both the fossil and the impression. I have seen these in books as a kid. Something also very cool here. These are pigeons that were owned by Charles Darwin that helped him discover the theory of evolution. There are so many absolutely cool exhibits in this museum that we are going to have to come back because the hour we have isn't even close to enough. Alright everybody, that's going to end our time today. Hope you enjoyed joining me on another tour. And hey, if you liked the video, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and until next time, good adventuring.